Now, ABC 7 News at 6 on your side.
Right now at 6, the simple cause of a massive power outage that brought parts of the nation's capital to a halt. Just after lunchtime, the lights went dark from southern Maryland all the way to the White House. Exclusive ABC 7 video shows utility company Smecco repairing the transmission conductor in Charles County that fell, knocking out power to 2 stations. That fallen conductor interrupted Pepco's power supply as well, ultimately affecting more than 28,000 customers. That includes the University of Maryland, where many people were stuck in elevators. We have team coverage of the outage tonight. Brianne Carter will join us from College Park in a moment. But first, D.C. Bureau Chief Sam Ford shows us the confusion in the nation's capital. Sam?
Maureen, some buildings were affected, other buildings were not. And here at Pepco, they're saying that this really wasn't a power outage, but rather it was the power systems in various buildings reacting to a drop in voltage. But you could have fooled a lot of people when you said that.
We were all sitting at our desks, and it just went black, like dark.
In buildings across the city, it hit between 12:40 and 1 p.m. At the Warner Theater, where Oprah was speaking for unveiling a stamp in memory of poet Maya Angelou, the lights disappeared during her address. Smithsonian museums along the mall and elsewhere went dark and were evacuated, and the power company Pepco says it was all because of an equipment failure at a substation in southern Charles County, Maryland that caused a fire, a transmission line to fail, and a voltage drop, which in buildings in the city, power systems automatically switched to backup power and buildings went mainly dark.
And so that's why in some locations people saw what appeared to be a power outage. It was really the system switching over from the primary system over to the backup system.
At the ceremony at the Warner, also attended by First Lady Michelle Obama, nobody panicked and a lot of people thought it was part of the show.
I thought it was planned.
What if I told you that there's a power outage from here up into Maryland?
Oh, wow, really? Wow.
And the Pepco spokesman said it caused a powerful ripple effect from southern Charles County as the power came here to D.C. Also, another impact here was that there was the Calvert Cliffs nuclear power plant, and the spokesman said that system reacted well as well because when this happened, the voltage dropped, it shut off the power to all the nuclear units, and they were not affected. Reporting live from Northwest Washington, Sam Ford, ABC 7 News.
Thank you, Sam. The Smithsonian was forced to evacuate several of its museums along the National Mall because of the loss of power. The museums were closed for a couple of hours. When power was restored, all museums reopened just before 3 o'clock. Metro also had problems tied to the outage. Train service never stopped, but the loss of power to elevators and escalators forced the closings of the DuPont Circle and Bethesda stations. The Bethesda station remains closed at this hour. Power has finally been restored at the University of Maryland, but for many, the outage was more than just a break from classes. Brianne Carter is there live with the problems many faced on campus. Brianne?
Well, that's right, Maureen. And at this hour, things are starting to get back to normal. Very quiet here just outside of the Student Union, but it was a much different scene in the middle of the day where people were all over the sidewalks and streets trying to figure out why in the middle of class the lights just went out. Now, a number of students telling us they were taking an exam and all of a sudden the power went out. Some pulled out their cell phones to use the back of the light from that just to try and see the paper in front of them. Meanwhile, scarier moments for some students who were inside of an elevator at the time that all of this happened. Prince George's County fire officials tell us that about 6 elevators they helped to get open to get those students back to safety. They say that everyone was okay after all of that. Now, we do know that the power is back on at this hour, but still students do not have any hot water or steam here on campus. Many say that after this day in the dark, they start to describe exactly what they saw when they came outside.
Well, the professor's giving a lecture with her PowerPoint, and then all of a sudden the lights went off, and she was walking outside talking to other professors, trying to see what was going on. And she came back in and was like, oh, we'll wait it out. And then after about 5 minutes, she's like, oh, there's no point in waiting. You guys can just go. So came outside, and everybody was outside already. So
This is really putting a toll on everything I'm trying to do today.
That was a sentiment by a number of students who were concerned that tests they were taking and had prepared for perhaps to be rescheduled, but they were able to complete those. Now, classes were canceled as of 2 o'clock this afternoon, so no evening or afternoon classes here. Dining services have been limited as a result. They say they hope to get things back to normal here by later this evening. Reporting live in College Park, Brianne Carter, ABC 7 News.
7 is on your side, pushing for answers about today's power outage. We'll bring you any new information about its cause and its effects as we get it.